Hell. There's a lot of humor in our culture about childhood, and over the years, we're being able to be a little bit more real about what really goes on with children. And the fact is, kids are full of fear. And I try to explore some of children's real fears and real neglect and real abuse, and still try to find some humor in it. You know, the way I started out, I was a huge fan of Charles Schulz and Peanuts, and my friends and I used to draw Charlie Brown, and this is how he came out when we drew him. That was basically the first character I drew. And gradually, Charlie Brown transformed into a character with a big nose and two eyeballs on the same side of his head. They still had Charlie Brown's t-shirt on. Anyway, so, and this character was named Joe. Eventually, over the years, Joe got a fez and changed his name to Akbar, and I gave him a little ear, and then I gave him a twin. And so these are my characters, Akbar and Jeff. My main two characters in Life in Hell are Binky, who is this sort of version of me, very anxious and stressed out. And then he's got a girlfriend who's basically Binky in drag. This is sort of modeled after Minnie Mouse. No, Minnie Mouse is just basically Mickey Mouse with eyelashes and a ribbon. So that's Sheba. That's his girlfriend. And I used to do comic strips with Binky and Sheba and arguing about their relationships. And my girlfriend at the time would go, you know, that's not fair, you know, because you're doing both sides of the argument, and you make the girl come off worse. So that's when I put Akbar and Jeff into the strip, two identical creatures, and I'd have them have the same arguments that I was having with my girlfriend, and you couldn't tell who was who. Except, again, my girlfriend at the time said, "You think you're Akbar, but you're really Jeff." So I did Life in Hell as a comic strip for the Los Angeles Reader, a little weekly newspaper, and gradually got picked up by other newspapers, and it's up like 250 papers around the country and overseas. I have this theory about what's memorable in cartoon characters, and that's if you can identify them by silhouette. For instance, Mickey Mouse, Batman. So when it came time to create The Simpsons, each character I decided to see if I could draw them and make them identifiable in silhouette. Why? It's Bart Simpson. So, yellow skin. Why? because it looks like there's something wrong with your TV set, and I thought that was appropriate to The Simpsons symbolically. Also, if you're flicking around with your channel changer very fast and you zoom by The Simpsons, there's nothing else that looks like them on TV, so therefore we stand out. I looked at Walt Disney's cartoons, I thought there's no way. It's great, but it's got this kind of rubbery, bouncy thing that I found a little bit nauseating. I mean, it's great, but it's a little, you know? And then there's Warner Brothers, that's like, you know, it's very dynamic and jerky and quick and brilliant. But I thought, no way, the budgets in today's animation, you can't do it. But Rocky and Bullwinkle, unbelievable cartoon. First of all, horrible animation, terrible, shoddy, missing frames, nothing matches, everything like that. But it's got great writing, it's got great voices, and it's got great music. And I thought to myself, that's what you need. You don't need to have great animation. And with The Simpsons, I used Rocky and Bullwinkle as a model.
Well, our heroes are now in Pottsylvania, a country where everybody's a spy and everything's a secret. And what's more, last time when our boys opened the door to their room, they found it in a dreadful condition. Bullwinkle instantly made a brilliant deduction.
Somebody's been in here. I know, 'cause when we went out, this blotter was facing the other way.
I named The Simpsons after members of my own family. My father's name is Homer, my mother's name is Margaret, sort of like Marge. I have a sister Lisa and a sister Maggie. And I named The Simpsons after them, not because The Simpsons are like them in real life. I thought it would be a funny little conceit. Unfortunately, The Simpsons continues on and on and on. And so my family has to live with with their unwitting fame. My father only complained to me once about The Simpsons. He didn't mind anything that they did. He just was upset one time. The Simpsons' car was got a flat tire out in the desert, and Homer had Marge carry the flat tire back to town, and while he and the kids waited in the shade. My dad said, Homer shouldn't have done that. And I said, come on, Dad, come on, Homer strangles his kids. You've never complained about that. So, but he didn't mind that for some reason. I was a huge fan of animation the whole time I was growing up. The Flintstones and the rest of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, I was addicted to, and I watched a lot of them, but they were very formulaic and very, again, more in that TV, you know, narrow boundaries and nothing unsafe. The reason why I turned out the way I did is not because of any great positive ambition. I had no choice. I had to be what I'm doing. I'm not, the fact that I got successful at it, that's lucky, that's good. But I would be doing the same thing whether or not I were successful. I just love cartooning and love writing, and luckily I get to do it and get paid for it. I have got 2 successes with Futurama and The Simpsons. If I do another one, it's like, oh my God, when do I sleep? You know? So I'm considering very carefully, but maybe I'll do Life in Hell in an animated form. I'd love to do that. But just, I would write the whole thing myself. Okay? That'd be good?
Great.
Actually, yeah, okay. And then not for the camera. I have this idea for a rock and roll show. I want to do, okay, let's put this on camera. Let's put this on camera. I got these big ideas, okay? But The Simpsons was my idea of the American family and celebrating the American family at its wildest. You know, people who love each other and drive each other crazy. And with Futurama, it's taking the idea of the future and science fiction and doing to science fiction what needs to be done to science fiction. I have this secret project that I want to do. I want to demolish rock and roll. I want to do to rock and roll what I did to the American family, okay? I have this great idea for a show. And even though I've given it away now, nobody knows exactly what I'm going to do. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.